feeling. Bring your finger basket behind your head. Before we move here, something a little bit different, a variation of what we do a lot here in class. You're going to drop the tailbone, lift up the spine, pull the belly in a little so you have this nice solid base of your trunk. And before moving back at all, you're just going to press your head into your hands. Feel your low abs turn on as you press your head back, but your finger basket here and your arms are nice and solid, they're not giving. So we're not winging back yet, we're staying nice and neutral and strong. Drop the tail, release the shoulders down, even though they have this pressure here. It should feel like a lot of work in the biceps and the shoulders, probably more shoulders for most of us. Keep this press, 2 more breaths, inhaling here, wing those elbows out wide, stay. We're just getting some light engagement of the shoulders here and aligning the spine. Now, maybe some of you feel that ridge in the back of the neck where the skull meets. You can dig your thumbs right behind your ridge and then think of lifting yourself up. Yes. You might even feel the lift. Seeing myself on video, I actually saw a little bit of length happen. It might not feel like a massive move, but you will get a little bit of length as you think energetically of lifting your elbows and your skull up. And now on an inhale, open up the chest a little bit wider. Maybe you gaze up, very light back bend here. And then drop the arms. They probably really want to release by now. Wrap your right arm behind you so your fingertips are at the base of your hip. And then with your left palm, you grab and give yourself a nice firm handshake here. Roll the shoulders back. And then you're going to drop that left ear towards the left shoulder. Really similar to the neck stretches we do, just slightly different today. And I promise you guys, you will sweat today in class. We're just warming up with some really delicious yin poses. We used to call this class yin yang, flow, restore, something like that. I love the element of warming up slowly with some yin stretches and then closing with yin. Such a good way to do some due diligence. Think of it as like work, body work, before we get into our flow. All right, release that and then let that left hand pull the ear away. And then your right arm can reach long. Woof, you'll feel it turn on. As you engage your fingertips, you'll feel it through the neck and the traps. And then give yourself a head roll. Oh, look side to side, roll it out. And then we're gonna take the other side. So wrap your left arm around your waist. And then take your right palm and give yourself a firm handshake at the base of your head. Roll the shoulders down and wing them back. And then we'll take the other opposite side. So your right ear comes to your right shoulder and you're just hanging out here. Letting the head, neck, and shoulders pull apart. Release your jaw here. Tack neck, getting into this. A little bit of a series here to release that. I don't know how many colleagues I saw on Zoom this week, like literally leaning forward as though they're gonna see the screen better, squinting, craning their neck, and I'm like, oh no, I'll blow up the font, don't do that. So, PSA, use big fonts. PSA, stretch out your neck. All right, release that, keep the head rolling away. You're gonna use your right palm to drape on the ear, and then your left arm's gonna pull apart. Oh, yeah, delish. So good. One more breath here. Let that go, give yourself some rolls of the neck, and then look side to side as well. Give yourself some freedom here in the neck. So good. And then we're gonna reach our arms nice and long and then wrap your right arm underneath for eagle arms. We're gonna do this a couple times in class. You can grab for shoulders, you can start to wrap more, you can continue to wrap depending upon what your shoulders want to do this morning. You take it as far as you want, but lift those elbows up, roll the shoulders back, and you're gonna press together in 2 places. The elbows are gonna press together, And then the palms or the fingertips, wherever they are going to press together. This will really fire up the shoulder blades behind you. And from here, we're going to take some small movements, and we're going to do this throughout class. So inhale, open up. This should feel pretty familiar for most of you. And then exhale, curl in, drop the head. Your elbows want to energetically come towards the belly button. Inhale, open up. Little cat-cow in the spine here, tipping your tail behind you. Exhale, C-curve. Give me that little pelvic tilt. Let's warm up our pelvis here. Let's warm up the low spine. Let's open up those shoulders. Oh, okay, now give me a little Phelps swing. Yeah. Tokyo 2021, here we come. We're just training here, guys. You didn't know that this is a prep for swim class, did you? All right, reach your arms long. Now we're gonna wrap that left one under, or take the opposite. I think it's left. Brain fog, guys, brain fog. All right, lift those elbows up, roll the shoulders back, and stay and breathe. Now that you're kind of getting the flow of this, you can make it a little more divine and magical if you like. You can bring your knuckles to the third eye center if you really like to connect with yourself. Make a little divine puzzle piece. Maybe you're closing the eyes and tuning into yourself a little bit more. Now let's flow. Inhale, open it up. Tip the tailbone behind you like cow pose. And exhale, curl everything in. Let the head drop. Inhale, open up. Breathe in. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl it in. Whew. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl it in. And now release. Give yourself whatever kind of shoulder rolls. Maybe you take those big swings again of the shoulders. Last thing here, we are going to pick up our right elbow and grab it overhead, and you're going to pull it towards the midline of the body behind you. Once you do this, the tendency is to puff out the chest. Can you pull in the ribs, knit them in, and then let the tailbone drop, pull your abs in. Ah, nice. If you've got this here, you can start to backstroke, lead with your thumb, reaching for your t-shirt behind you. Maybe you interlace your fingertips for a bind and stay and just breathe. Reaching and grabbing for your shirt is really helpful if you're working on that bind. And then release that, roll the shoulders, and let's take the other side. Left arm comes up, grab the elbow, pull it across the midline of the body behind you, and then pull those ribs in, drop the tail. Lead with the thumb. That will help you rotate the shoulder in a way that you'll need to access the bind. And then you grab for your t-shirt or the fingertips. Whew. I will say these binds were a lot easier for me pre-pandemic. It's just our lifestyle is so different now. So, just maybe fine-tune a little bit of what's changed in our routines and what does that mean for our bodies. Give yourself a little roll and then kind of wash that up. All right, I think we're very ready to flow, don't you? Bring your block towards the top of the mat. If it's not there, probably be a great place to have it handy. All right, let's spread our fingertips wide. Come onto a tabletop position. Let's take a couple cat-cows. As you're cat-cowing, I'll give you guys the roadmap of what we're doing today. I realized, so some of you know I have a Peloton. Whoop, whoop, I know Elise, you Peloton. I love it when instructors give you kind of like the roadmap of the day. I'm like, all right, I know what's up. So I realized there's no reason why I can't give you a roadmap in a yoga class. So roadmap today, a lot of warrior ones with devotional warriors. Because of that, we're gonna get into the shoulders a lot more. We're gonna do some yummy shoulder stretches as well. And then we're gonna do a little bit of fallen triangle and a twisted triangle. So it's gonna be a lot of abs. A block is gonna be very helpful. By abs, I mean twists. Twist from the core. We'll do some chair poses as well. So it'll be sweaty, it'll be fast, and we'll try out some crow pose. Yeah. And then as you guys know, some of you are working on other things. You're working on maybe tripod. Let me know too, I think in this virtual style, and you guys are still doing lots of yummy cat cows for me. It's hard to tell what you guys want to work on in these virtual settings. So if there are arm balances you're interested in, you need, a little bit of workshopping to take it to the next level, you can always email me or DM me on Instagram. All right, with that, let's get a little bit of flow in. So helpful to have the block, let's place it in between our palms and then walk your palms an inch forward. This is just going to give us an alignment check. So if I lift up my palm, you can see my block here. It's going to hit my chest, my collarbone. I just want to do this for an alignment check on our chaturangas. So we'll take them with knees down. You're lengthening out from your tabletop here. Knees are bent. Pull the abs in. Point the elbows behind you for your chaturanga until you hit your block. This is your chaturanga. So if you've got your block here, great. If not, you're kind of mimicking how far down we've gone. Maybe you put a book underneath you or your foam roller. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Aha. Can you engage your quads and then extend your heels behind you? Get a stretch in the heels. The block will be doing a lot of the work here for you. Now, from your chaturanga, you're going to flip your feet and push up into upward facing dog. Aha. Pull your chest through. Your knees are lifted, your quads are lifted, and you're stacking wrist, elbow, and shoulders as you pull your chest through. Now let's tuck the toes and come into down dog. Ooh, breathe, inhale here. And exhale. It's also kind of fun to do chaturanga on the block. At least I think that's what I think of, but I kind of qualify as fun, so I think I need help. Bend your knees, tuck your tail high to the sky. I guess not everyone can be as big of a yoga nerd. I think that stuff's fun, but you gotta lead into what you love in life, right guys? Inhale, from your tailbone, roll and ripple forward into a plank pose. Let's give ourselves a couple rocks back and forward. Really strengthen those toes. And then turn on those low abs. And then let's bring our hips high again. Down dog. Stay in down dog. Spread the fingertips wide. Feet or hips at distance. You press your chest towards your thighs. Maybe you're tipping your tailbone here, bending your knees to free up the low back. Aha, I love that feeling. Lengthen the heels down as long as they'd like to go today. They may not hit the mat, that's okay. Inhale, ripple forward, and think of rippling from the tailbone. As you give me a little cat position, starting from the tailbone, you can't help but ripple forward. And then let's practice that chaturanga. Let's come all the way down. If your block is still there, that's cool. Let your chest tap it. Push it up. Come back up to plank pose. Nice. Downward facing dog. We're going to do this a couple times. So if you want to do this on your knees, that is awesome. Inhale, ripple forward. Start from the tailbone. And then chaturanga arms. You're squeezing your chest as it comes down. Your elbows point behind you. You tap your block. You give me a push-up. Come back to the plank. Extend those heels behind you. Pull belly in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo. Inhale here. Take a breath. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. Let's roll forward. Elbows point behind you. Give me that chaturanga push-up. Tap the block. Come back up. Plank pose. Pull belly in, extend heels behind you. Downward facing dog. Let's come down onto our knees. Toes together, knees apart. Thread your left shoulder through. Child's pose with shoulder stretch. If you have your block and you're really into stretching out the arms today, you can drape your top arm, your right arm over the block to stretch it out even more. Release the low back here. Breathe, inhale in, and exhale. Let's take the other side. You can slide your block over if you're draping your left arm. Push and put a little bit of pressure on that right arm that you're sneaking through. And breathe, inhale. Don't you hate practicing from home and your eyes just spot that dust or that dust bunny? It's the worst, isn't it? Every time I look to the left, I see schmutz on my carpet and I just want to vacuum. Unbelievable. All right, inhale, come back up through center. Move that block to the very top of the mat. And let's come into our plank pose. We're gonna do that one more time. So let's start in downward facing dog, but this time we're gonna come all the way down to the mat. So inhale, ripple forward from tail, and then give me a good chaturanga, and let's come all the way down to the ground. So from here, inhale as you roll up, gaze a foot in front of you, and slide those palms back towards your ribs. Squeeze shoulder blades behind you. Feet hips foot distance or wider, as wide as the mat. And stay and breathe. Inhale, gazing about a foot in front of you to keep that neck long. Let's pause here. Low cobra. Inhale here. Exhale, come down. Inhale, we come right back up. Squeeze. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, we come right back up. Exhale, you let it go. Two more. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, let it go. Now bring your fingers towards the outside of your mat, the top corners. Elbows up. Inhale, we breathe in. Pull the chest forward and down. Yummy. Inhale, come up. Exhale, pull forward and down. We're going to do 4 more of those. So as you're doing these, just know it's counterintuitive. But if you're working with low back pressure or tightness, I've been working with a physical therapist for my low back for some herniated discs. And the best way to alleviate pressure in the low back is actually to move the spine like this. It'll help the spine kind of move everything back into place that might be displaced or might be tight. So just know how healthy this is for your back. It's a good thing. Bring those palms by your ribs, tuck your toes, lift the knees and quads. Give me a really nice, strong push-up to plank, downward facing dog. Aha! Woo! All right, let's flow a little bit. I'm sure you're dying for it. Lift that right leg high to the sky. Yummy. Down dog split. Pull the knee forward and through in between your hands, back knee down. Inhale, lift up, Anjaneyasana. Stay here. Place the palms behind the head and find that little ridge and lift yourself up and then back. Gaze up towards the sky. Wing those elbows out long. Inhale. And exhale, plant the palms. Step it back to plank. Let's take the other side. So coming into down dog, take a breath. And then exhale. Lift the left leg high to the sky. Pull the knee forward and through. Back knee down. Inhale, you lift, Anjaneyasana. And breathe. Interlace palms behind the head. Lift yourself up. And then gaze up. Stretch out the front body. Inhale here. And exhale. Plant palms down, come into plank pose. Let's come back to downward facing dog.